Oh yeah, welcome to How Can She
Snap.
This is the Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthy casual. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal. We're here.
He's right here. We got a nice episode for you. It's going to be a little bit shorter episode. I'm traveling for work this week. We're going to get it out a bit earlier. So bear with us. We're going to talk about Mobius and how he's not in the meta anymore, and it's wonderful for me. We're going to talk about the new Gladiator, the new card. No big deal, picked him up. The kid's going to roll the spotlights live on the pod tonight. We're going to talk about the spotlights, what you should be rolling this week, next week. We're going to go over them. And then we're going to get into those STONKS, baby. We haven't done that in a while. Untapped pay-to-win data. We got it, so you don't have to. Let's get it! The kid! No big deal. How are you?
What's cracking, man? I'm good. Feels nice. The sun was shining today. Played some Snap. Did the Infinite, the rally to Infinite with the Guardians, and felt good.
Yeah,
man.
we did. We did. Before we go and talk about the episode and the topics, I want to, we got to give a special shout out. I want to preface this first. That I didn't know starting a podcast. I just get like random, solicitations once in a while. I mean, we have like 2 people listen to us anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But
It's picking up.
some on pod status, apparently in Apple Podcasts, How Can She Snap is the #1 podcast in the video game category in the great and wonderful country of Anguilla. So, Anguilla, my next vacation, we're coming.
Hey, shout out to the great people of Anguilla. We love you. Thanks for listening. And hey, we're gonna try to keep pumping these out. Just for the island. Let's do it.
That's it. Well, thank you. That was awesome. So it's great. So let's get into it. No big deal. Mobius, you see him?
He feels kind of ass, man. He feels kind of ass right now. I don't know,
bro. I haven't seen him but maybe like 3 or 4 times this whole week.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
I couldn't be more happy.
It's interesting, and we talk about this a lot, but you just got to compare him to the other 3/3s, right? Cosmo and Killmonger. I am definitely seeing Killmonger more. I don't know why. Maybe just Destroy is kind of popular. The Killmonger's out there. But Mobius, I don't see him at all. I don't see too much Cosmo these days either, even though it's the ongoing meta. People are just not afraid of Enchantress and Rogue, I guess, in their Miss Marvel decks, so they just don't play Cosmo. I don't see him, man, and I think it's a good thing. I think he's in a good spot. I like him at a 3/3.
Yeah, I like him at a 3/3 too. I like him at a 3/3 because I don't see him ever. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
I love it. And we'll talk about this later, but the meta seems to be. I love the meta right now. It's amazing. It seems like you can just play anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. And he's I guess he's a pretty good tech card at 3/3. I guess if Loki starts really creeping up, then you can start throwing him in decks. 2/3 was just too much. He's just all over the place. It's way too easy to put him in every deck and way too oppressive. Now it's like it's hard to put him in deck because 3 is like. You want to do a lot of things on the 3 curve. Like if you're a Thanos deck, you want to be playing, usually your Time Stone or Psylocke on 3, so you can put a 5-drop on 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like it kind of messes up the curve in a lot of decks. Darkhawk decks, they want to be playing Rock Slide, not Mobius. So it's hard to fit him in.
Yeah. I think if you're, this is totally theorycraft. I haven't tried it out, but if you're taking like a Sarah Miracle deck into Conquest, then he's probably pretty good in a deck like that, because you're a Sarah deck, right? So you don't want your shit getting, or wait, no, never mind. That would not be a good time to run. Because
you run Rogue.
Run Rogue. You just play Rogue instead. Yeah, I think so Rogue's the answer there. So never mind. Forget I said that. I'm trying to theorycraft. Like, where am I putting Mobius? Because I don't think he really belongs in Surfer either. I've seen people try him out in Surfer. And I don't know. It feels kind of weak, I think.
He's just going to be a tech card that's a 3/3, which is like, it's a very obvious thing for me to say and very stupid thing it's sounding, but like it's gonna be like Cosmo. Cosmo's like he ebbs and flows. Cosmo comes when there's a lot of on reveals and
Mhm.
stuff, and then and then when there's not, Cosmo kind of goes away because like a 3/3 is a big commitment. Um, and so if Loki starts becoming ridiculous, like they release new cards and just they become ridiculous with the Loki deck, then you just fit him in your decks, and then Loki gets owned, and that's it.
Yeah, if the Quinjet build is like the big meta build, right? The Loki Quinjet build,
Yeah.
then like that becomes like by far the most popular deck. Cozy makes a video on freaking Loki Quinjet. Put some other random card in there because he do something spicy. But if it has Loki Quinjet in it, like that's gonna be the time to dust off the Moby and slam the 3/3.
Yeah.
Get that Loki Quinjet out of here. But yeah, it seems like it's just more efficient to not run them at 3/3 right now.
Yeah, and I love it because then
Mhm.
I could just I could be playing the Ravonna decks. I can be playing Zabu decks. I've been playing all of them without fear. I even played a little bit of Loki Quinjet, not too much, just a little bit, just to see. I'm like, let me test the waters. This is see if there's
Mhm.
gonna be Mobius out there. Not really,
No, yeah.
not really. I could play the Loki Quinjet without worrying.
Mhm.
I even tried throwing him in a Loki Quinjet deck once because I'm like, if I play Mobius, I'll cuck the mirror. It'll be great.
You'd be great against the mirror, yeah.
Yeah. So it was okay. So yeah, are you happy about this change?
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked it again. I would have liked if they released the card like this, or like a 2/1 on
Yeah.
release or something, or whatever. But here we are. We had the whole fiasco. Um, I don't love them like reacting to Twitter, like the balance. Like I don't want Twitter to balance the game. Like
Mhm.
because it's always something with Twitter. Like oh, it's Elias OP, and then Galactus OP, and then it's always then the next thing it's Leech, it's leader. Some of these cards are actually not that broken, and so if they balance the game, like if that's a precedent, but I get it. It was a pay to win card. It costed money. Like everybody saved up their cashes. Should never rolled for Mobius, but
Yeah.
if they did, then those people are feeling really bad, and you don't want people to be having a bad time playing your game. Games are supposed to be fun.
No,
So I get it.
exactly. Especially like, because everyone was saying at the beginning, like,
Mhm.
this is going to be a ridiculous card at a 2/3. Like, this is a
Mhm.
card that you need to have. So
Yes.
people probably might have saved for like a month, like, save their caches, like, oh, I got to get this card. Everyone's saying it's like an unreal card,
Hmm.
right? Which
Yeah.
it was. And then they nuked it. So then
Hmm.
people that were saving for like a month probably feel like shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would.
Hmm.
So it's nice that they brought it back. So now it's like I think in a good spot. We're like, for me, I'm happy that they nuked it before, but I understand. I respect the people that saved. Um, but yeah, now it's like a 3/3. It's a great spot. Put it in when things get out of hand. When cost reduction gets out of hand, it's a good tool to play. And then yeah, I think it's good.
I won't be surprised if like a month from now he like goes up to a 3/4. I can see that.
Yeah, maybe. I doubt it because then like what? Like then so it's better than Cosmo then? Like like why would you do that?
Cosmo can win you the game just by himself. He's got a crazy effect.
Yeah, so can he.
Hmm.
Um, all right, cool. Let's talk about the new card. Came out today. You
Hmm.
picked him up, Chadiator. He just looks like a Chad. Look at him. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this guy so far? 3/7. Let's
Well,
let's talk. Well, he's a 3/7 on
yeah.
reveal. Add a card from your opponent's deck to their side of this location. If it has less power, then destroy it. So basically, it's like a game of war. You know, he pulls out the other card. If their power is more, he loses and he swears.
Yeah.
And
The animation's
then
fire. Yeah.
if the power is less, then he just destroys it. He like blasts it with eye lasers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, we talk about it on here a lot. Like we play the game for fun. Like this just seems like a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
uh I liked I was debating if I'm gonna roll this week or next week because I obviously want Annihilus too, and I want Annihilus a lot more than this card. But I have Loki and Mirage already, so I like the variants better this week. So I rolled this week because I just like the Mirage and the Loki variant. Oh, sorry, this one has Loki Mirage, but yeah, the same with the Annihilus cards are like X23 and a bad Dakin variant, in my opinion, but a awesome X23 variant.
Yeah,
And
Rian's.
so I am sad. I'm going to miss out on that. I'm going to spend the 6K on a nihilist, and I'm going to roll for Gladiator, just for fun, because Martyr at the end of the month, I could save all my caches for December.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to stockpile, and I'll be up to 10, 12 keys by December, and be ready to roll for the blob, which I'm really excited about. But anyway, so that's my logic. Didn't think this card was good when I got it. As a 3/8, we hyped it up, thought it was gonna be sick. As
Yeah.
it is right now, I do not think it's a good card. It's fun. He's won me some games already, but and the power is nice for sure. But man, it's tough. Like, how do you does clog work? Maybe with a nihilist. Maybe a nihilist is what he needs. We just got to get more shit on their board.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't, obviously I'm gonna roll for him later today, so I don't have him. But I was watching Dara earlier today, when he picked him up, and he was running kind of like a bounce type mill kind of deck where he had like Yondu, Falcon, he had Spider Ham, Gladiator, Doctor
Mhm.
Octopus, Beast, cards like that, and Werewolf by Night,
Yeah.
and Nico. It was that kind of a deck, and he was playing in high infinite. He's like ranked top 30 right now, top 40,
Mhm.
and he actually like at first was kind of like just memeing around, and then like he was like started playing a little more, and then like he just was climbing.
Mhm.
Like he went from like rank 36 to 30 when I watched him. He's like, dude, this deck's actually pretty good. Like, and Gladiator was winning him some not winning him some games, but it was doing work. Like it seemed like pretty good.
Yeah,
So
I've played 3 builds with him. I made maybe 10 games with each. Um, First of all, if you run into a destroy deck, it's miserable. By the way, so that's
yeah,
just like
probably.
that's an auto loss. Like, or
Yeah,
you just don't play the gladiator. Like, you have to do something else. But
yeah,
the first deck I tried to play, I tried to make clog work, and I don't know. I don't think the clog is very good right now. But again, with a nihilist, it might be crazy. Then the second game, I tried to do surfer, and that didn't feel particularly great either. It's like, what am I gonna do? Lock down a lane with Storm or Jean Grey or something, and it's like Miss Marvel meta. It doesn't even like matter anymore. Like everyone could just reach all the lanes. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like, you're not putting out a crazy amount of power with a Surfer deck either. So like, what is the Surfer deck like really even doing these days? Like, I don't know. Man, I'm not a Surfer expert, so maybe that's on me. But all right. So the third deck I tried is a lot similar to what Darrow was running, but it's Loki deck, and the gladiator is surprisingly really good with werewolf as well. So he is an on reveal effect. So, but I think this is probably why Dara's high infinite and I'm like 18,000 infinite. I think real men play it with cable as well. I think that's the way to do it. So you got Yondu, Gladiator, and Cable, 3 cards, Beast Bounce, Falcon, play them again, goodbye deck, and you're. I mean, my logic was I'm also boosting up my collector. Because it's bounce deck, right? And I'm boosting up my werewolf the whole time, and then Loki, you could do like a turn 6, kind of Loki miracle play, along with all that.
yeah,
I was playing with Nico, but maybe you could do Quinjet too, But I like the idea of copying a card because I want to copy my Yondu, play 2
yeah,
Yondus, bounce them both out, 2 Yondus. What's up? You got no deck now,
yeah.
bro. So uh,
Exactly. And werewolves bouncing around the whole
the
time
whole
too.
time, yeah, 0 cost cards. So the werewolf gets absolutely insane in that deck, and yeah, he felt the best there. But it's also like, do you need gladiator in a deck like that? Like that is the ultimate philosophical question. Like, do you have to mill their deck out? Can you just play a Loki bounce or just a bounce list? And is that better? It remains to be seen for me. I think, but he's
Yeah.
like a lot of fun in that list for sure.
Do you play Forge? Dara was playing Forge.
No, what is the forge? Oh, with the
So
gladiator. I didn't even think of that. Fucking genius.
yeah, so Forge with Gladiator, and
Yeah,
Forge just for bouncing Forge around, Falcon and back, put him on the werewolf, put him on Nico,
yeah,
you get double the power, that kind of stuff. So Forge just works really well. This is a 1 drop, right?
yeah. I'll have to try his list out for sure. But I would try to find a way to incorporate Cable in there, just because he's such a good meme card. Like, he's a 3/4. Why is Cable a 3/4? Well, what a joke, man.
Yeah.
It's insane. I had no
You can
no
play
idea
Jean
what they were
Grey.
thinking. They're like, let's rework the shield cards. Like, guys, you should rework the Guardians of the Galaxy cards. There's like 2 of them that are playable.
I was gonna say you should play Jean Grey with Mantis. Get that Mantis play in
Oh, there you
there.
go. Yeah. Oh, I didn't
You
think of
steal more
Mantis. Yeah,
cards.
next level.
Yeah, Jean Grey Mantis, you're
Mm.
guaranteed to steal a card.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
That's
like
great.
that. I like that, and yeah, maybe if it take the whole Loki package out, just go full mill. That's the kid. That's the kid mill tech. The Mantis Jean Grey.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know I used to run that.
So I guess after, so I know I don't want to speak for Dara, but after,
Mhm.
like after a couple hours of playing with him, it seemed like his opinion was the card's kind of okay.
Mhm.
Like it's an alright card, but he was having a lot of fun with it.
Mhm.
Worth 6,000 tokens? No, I would say
Oh hell no!
hell,
Yeah, yeah.
hell no, don't do that. Probably not even worth rolling your spotlight caches to be honest,
Mhm.
but unless you want to just have fun with him because he looks like a lot of fun.
I will say most of the time he does kill the card. At least in my very limited
Yeah,
experience of playing for like an hour.
yeah.
They rarely get something that it doesn't kill. There was one game where they played Gladiator, and then it pulled my Gladiator, and then my Gladiator pulled his Nebula, and that was pretty bad for him because he basically just gave me a free 7 power.
Yeah.
So,
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Dara was also saying like it probably could go up to 8 power, but I don't know. 8 power might be too much for him.
I think he would be fine, but I don't think he would be broken at 8.
Yeah.
I think he'd be like pretty good, but I don't think he'd be broken at 8. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
How how your opinion changes. Last week you were like, he's broken at a 3-8. I'll die on that hill, quote unquote. I wish we could clip it.
Wait, broken at 3?
At 3-8.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna edit out that part of our last podcast
Yeah,
and put it in this.
yeah,
You're
you
like,
should.
I'll
That'd be
die on
good.
that hill. He's broken at 3-8.
Yeah, I've hyped up this card way too much.
Well, yeah,
I'm okay
again.
capitulating on day one. I'll take the
It's
L,
fine. It's
and
fine. No,
yeah,
no.
it's
I'm just.
definitely
I'm
not
just. I'm
as
just
good as
playing.
I thought it was going to be for sure.
It's and then again, I will reiterate that the on reveal effects when he pulls it out, they do go off, and ongoing cards like Devil Dino, Darkhawk, they get their power before he checks the power. So like Devil Dino is not a 5/3; it's a 5 plus whatever it adds the power. Then he checks the cost, so likely it won't be destroying those cards.
And and
Null too.
and in my defense of dying on the hill, I mean, how horseshit is that? I mean, what is
I
that?
know,
That's the
yeah.
actual horseshit design of a card. It's like, what are
I
we
don't think it
doing here?
should.
Yeah, come on now.
Like the on reveal, I get, yeah,
Yes,
that's
on
fine.
reveal should go off, but
He'd be
come on.
broken if it didn't. He would be fucking
Yeah,
broken as
on
hell.
reveal needs to go off. It's not like, come on.
Yeah.
But it's on reveal.
But
It got
I
it got
think like the
revealed. It's
ongoings,
on reveal.
yeah, I think it should be base power personally, but
I thought it was hitting Devil Dino, Null, Mystique, Darkhawk. I thought all of these cards were going to be killed by Gladiator. Just those four alone, like Devil Dino, Darkhawk, Mystique, Null. Like, you know, they're all those cards are in the meta right now. Like the fact that it kills none of them and like not only does it kill none of them, you probably lose if it pulls any of them out. If it's a
I
good
mean
Mystique.
It'll kill Mystique,
If
you
she
know.
copies like a Devil Dino or something or a
Oh
Darkhawk,
yeah.
right? Say she copies Darkhawk or something, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That one I'm less offended by because that's her on reveal ability.
yeah,
And we did say that on reveals go off, right?
yeah.
So
Even if we
if
take
that
Mystique out,
goes off,
because yeah, Mystique's situational. They could have played something else, right? And it would just do nothing and kill it. But
yeah, I think it should kill Darkhawk. I think it should kill Devil Dino. I think it should kill Null. I
yeah,
think it should kill all those.
you need that to make this card good. I think it needs that. But yeah, it's okay. Still 3/8 broken. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah. Broken at 3-8.
We're back.
That's why you got to put Forge in your deck, baby, then make it a 3-9.
310. Oh baby. And then we get Shang-Chi to death.
Oh.
Fuck.
Oh, I've seen it. It's funny. I've seen the Forged Gladiator pull out Shang-Chi, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
9.
Shang
Yeah.
doesn't kill it anymore. It just owns the Shang-Chi. It's
That's
it's
funny.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, this looks like a fun card. I'm actually pretty excited to play around with it. Just do stupid mill decks and stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to try it with Forge. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I mean, it was just just brewing shit off the top of my head. I didn't look at anything. So, but yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Just play it with Forge.
So we both hit infinite kind of like a day after we did our last pod, right? Like
Yeah.
we got it pretty
We
quick.
did the Thursday pod,
Um,
and then we got the Infinite Friday. Yeah, it's like day 3
yeah, what
Infinite
a
or
what a
something. Yeah.
cool card back, by the way.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice one. I like it a lot. It's interesting.
Mhm.
So what decks did you use to hit infinite?
I used pretty much only my Guardians deck. Um,
Do I have it up here? Did I delete
yeah,
it? I
I
might
think
have
I think
deleted
you
it.
have it. You call it what?
No,
Like
I think
no.
I deleted it.
Okay. Yeah, I think
I just like to be like an idiot, and I make like 40 decks a day, and I just have to delete a bunch and stuff.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Mine was it was like you play Goose on one side, you play Storm on the other side, and then Miss Marvel in the middle. And yeah, it was really good. And I find it interesting. A lot of I thought I was going to be unique with a deck like that, and it turns out like these prison like Miss Marvel decks are just super meta and like extremely popular right now. So I guess everybody was onto the spice this season.
yeah,
But I think it's interesting either to run Professor X or not to run Professor X, because I opted not to. Because if you're the guy, like if you're playing into Professor X and I play Claw and they play Professor X, like I'm just slapping the shit out of them. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like they have
yeah,
3 power and I just put 10, and like what are you gonna do? So
yeah,
and as we're still playing Jeff, we're still playing Miss Marvel, like all these cards that can reach. So
yeah,
I think that's interesting. It's kind of like in the Loki mirrors, like how many tech cards do you include in your Loki mirror deck? You don't want to give them the tech card. I think there's something to that, and I felt really good not playing the Professor X in prison. So that would be my like main takeaway, because a lot of the top decks, we're gonna go with Snap Stonks later, talk about them. I see Professor X in there, and I kind of like just cutting him from the list. I think he's great if you
yeah.
ramp him out, like in a Thanos list and stuff like that. And but in these prison kind of Guardians, Miss Marvel type of lockdown lists, I like to cut the Professor X and try out Goose if you haven't, guys, because I mean Goose is insane in these decks. Insane card.
Yeah, Goose is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually used that list when I was in the 90s too,
Mhm,
as part of my climb.
mhm,
I use basically I use this list that's on the screen now. This is junk list. I think I talked about it last week.
mhm,
Hood, Nico, Black Widow, Carnage, Shadow King, Viper, Green Goblin, Debris, Werewolf, Shang-Chi, Spider Woman, Eliath.
mhm.
This deck was just a ton of fun. I loved it. And even after I got to Infinite, this is the deck that like I climbed the most with actually. Like
Mhm.
when I was playing decks, I was just like won a lot with this deck. Like people are just not ready for junk. They're just not prepared in Infinite for junk.
Yeah, nobody's playing Luke Cage anymore either. Like Shadow King's kind of crazy. Like when I was playing Surfer, I'm like, man, why
Yeah.
don't I just play Shadow King? Like this, like there's just no counterplay. It's like you see a collector or a Venom or something, like GG.
Yeah, Darrow was playing Shadow King in his Gladiator list too.
Okay, yeah, I got to steal that list for sure.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good list.
Well, yeah, this one was fun. I used your list too for a little bit,
Mhm,
and then for a bit of the climb, I used Brad Safer. He's a creator. He made this kind of control list
mhm,
that had Negasonic. It was just an excuse to use this variant. But this deck
mhm,
was actually pretty good. It's kind of like a lockdown style deck, not Thanos.
mhm,
But it's got Profex, Blue Marvel, Iron Man, Eliath, Iron Lad, Wave, Negasonic, Silk, Shadow King, Jeff, Psylocke, and Nico.
mhm,
This deck was pretty fun. You just basically try and lock down a lane. You could use Jeff to get in there, and then you Blue Marvel, and you could use Negasonic to like Negasonic just like gets so much value nowadays because no one really expects it. This is like a pretty damn good card. Like we have to redo our tier list. Like this card's pretty sick. It just steals cubes, man.
Yeah, I've lost to
Used
it
to be
quite a
pretty-
bit, and
Yeah,
I was playing it in Surfer too. Yeah, and that card is awesome for sure.
like Shuri decks too. Like it's
Mhm.
wild. Like
Yeah,
you just throw it down. Like either all right, you're not task mastering here or whatever. It's like if they don't have armor, like they play Shuri, you're like, oh, sorry, there goes your 28 power Red Skull.
yeah, and
Like
they're usually
pretty wild.
giving up Prio too when they play Shuri, because it's just a 1 power
Yeah.
card, right? So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, this deck was fun. But yeah, Junk's been doing pretty good, and I'm so excited for next week. I hope that I'm just hyping up Annihilus so much that it's probably gonna disappoint me, but I'm just pretty excited for it.
yeah, we're setting up
But
for
yeah,
the letdown. It's gonna be fun though.
yeah, yeah, and then even in I did a Gold Conquest. I mean, I only played like one round, and Destroy worked pretty good. I saw a lot of. I've seen a lot of Destroy in Infinite initially.
Hmm.
Last week when I first got into Infinite, so I started playing a little bit. Just like a Deadpool Destroy list
Hmm.
was pretty good. Um, yeah. So that's basically what I've been doing. And then this week, just some random Miss Marble stuff. I tried my best to get that Spectrum quest, and I just got so frustrated I just couldn't do it.
Oh, I did that one. I did it. Yeah.
I was like, no. I played a few and I was like getting owned. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah. I went all
I'm like,
in.
I can't do it.
I went all in on the spectrum on that list.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, Carlos is going crazy back there.
Carlos hates spectrum.
Carlos the dog doesn't like Spectrum either. I respect that. Good boy, Carlos.
Yeah. No, I
Uh,
put like I did the stupid thing. I put Ghost. Oh, I did Wong. I did a Wong Spectrum. So
I should have done
yeah,
that.
Ghost, Quinjet, like just I don't even have Howard, but just all the cheap ongoing cards and
Yeah.
Professor X and just yeah. Well, oh, I did Invisible Woman. She's ongoing, so
Yeah.
you hide the Wong behind Invisible Woman. So it was Invisible Woman, Wong, Spectrum.
That's hilarious.
Mystique too, because Mystique is ongoing. So
Yeah.
you could go, 4 Wong, 5 Mystique, 6 Spectrum behind your Invisible Woman, and it blasts 4 times.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
So yeah, that was fun. I think I went 4 and 4. Just hard
That's
retreating
great.
when I didn't get the combo, and when I got the combo, we rallied.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, it was only 100 tokens, so like they're really chinsing out on that, but whatever.
Yeah, they're not what they
Um,
used to be.
Also, this list is pretty good. Darkhawk Bounce. It's hard to play,
Mhm.
and I was getting owned a few times, and there's like people getting mad because I was roping them, like, but not trying to rope them.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to think about plays like the Hood, Bast, Forge, Korg, Nico, Black Widow, Falcon, Shadow King, Werewolf, Beast, Darkhawk, and Chavez. I mean, there's replacements for these cards too if you don't have them, but I mean, um, this bounce list is pretty damn good right now. I've seen a lot of content creators play this with great success, and I was playing around. I'm like, oh, let me try and get a little bit better at bounce, and then I was doing okay. But there's some turns where like you just run out of time because there's like 4,000 things that you could be doing, especially if you're thinking about werewolf because your cards are all so low, and then like you beast them back, there's zero, and then like you got to manage werewolf. You have like 5 cards you can play, and like you don't want to play the hood, and
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just it's it's a lot to think about,
Yeah.
and my brain like broke a few times, but it was a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
And like you actually do stuff, and you feel smart. That you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, this, this. The werewolf's gonna end up here. I'm gonna have my dark hawk in here, and I'm gonna own them. And
Mhm.
then when it works out, you're like, yes. And then the other time, you're like, just the werewolf ends up in a weird spot because you
Yeah.
forgot, like the demon's not a non-reveal or something.
Yeah.
You're just playing everything so fast. But this deck, I would recommend trying and playing because it's a really good deck, and bounce is just a good archetype, but it's really tough. So like, just you're gonna lose a lot when you play it. But yeah,
Yeah, that list looks awesome. It looks like really tight. And
it is. Yeah,
yeah, bounce is already pretty complicated, and you add werewolf to the mix, and werewolf's a complicated card on his own. So uh yeah, it gets pretty crazy. You're talking about like redoing tier lists and stuff. I think God, this Black Widow card is like crazy now. Like,
good card.
yeah, like she's like like top tier card now. Like that we did call it on the buff when we were looking at the OTAs. We're like, this is a
Yeah,
massive buff. Like I thought they were just
yeah.
gonna go to 2/2, and they decided to give her a -1 on the on the we'll call it the bundle buff. They get the bundle
Yeah.
coming. They really get. I love that buff though. Like she needed it for sure. Like I think the old Black
Yeah.
Widow wasn't. We tried to make her work, and it wasn't quite as good. But like this -1 Widow's Bite, and then I think if you have like say a Korg and a Black Widow, and you have Beast in your hand, I think you just
Hmm.
snap, right? Like
Hmm.
2 Black Widows, like and 2 rocks. Like what are
It's
you gonna do? You
tough.
can't play the you can't play Marvel Snap like that.
It's tough out there. It
Yeah,
clogs them.
you're not drawing cards, and there's 2 rocks. Like
Yeah.
it's insane.
And this card's gonna get even more ridiculous when Celine releases late December, mid December.
Mhm.
Because then you could just play Black Widow Celine on turn 3, and then this is like a 0 -3 or 0 -4.
What does the text read on Annihilus again? Does it kill the bite or no?
Yeah, it'll send it over.
What does it say?
Your
Send.
card,
Yeah, sorry.
it's your cards that cost 0 or less. Swap sides. If not, destroy them. If they can't move, destroy them.
Okay.
Right? So 0 or less. So if they play the Widow's Bite, like they can send you, if they have an Alice, they can send you the Widow's Bite.
They could send their Widow's Bite. So that might be a nerf to Black Widow then. Uh, which is interesting for sure.
You clog them,
But yeah, Destroy. I
They
mean,
still can't draw, so
Destroy's been pretty good, the last month or two, and I think Destroy's in like if you're just looking for like a comfort zone deck, you used to just play Dark Aqua and you want a comfort deck. I think Destroy is the deck to play. Like it's always had specifically Deadpool Destroy with Nico. But yeah, basically with Destroy, phenomenal Loki matchup, combo centric deck. It's great into Gladiator. Gladiator's the new hot card. Anything it pulls out, you're going to be very sad as the Gladiator player. So you almost can't even play the card. And it just outputs a ton of power. So I do think it's like just if you're looking for something solid, reliable, and familiar, like it's a great deck to play right now.
yeah, no, and it's a ton of fun. I always love Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just always a fun time too. Just killing everything. And Killmonger gets you some really good value now because no one really is running Killmonger too much. So
Yeah.
these what's it called? Like high Evo decks that are, there's a lot of people playing some high Evo out now.
Yeah.
You're getting free Sunspot Nebulas and Misty Knights all day.
Yeah.
So
Even outside of that, just a lot of Storm Nebula in general with the Guardians and everything.
yeah. So in general, what are your thoughts on the meta right now, just in general, to kind of wrap it up?
I like it. I think it's healthy. I think the tip top is a little bit stale for me. It's the same decks that are still really good. Like, Loki's still really good. I mean, that's my main issue. But I think Loki's very beatable right now. And you asked me a month ago, is Loki beatable? I'd probably say no, especially Elsa Loki, like not even you can't really play anything. So I think the meta's like really healthy right now, and I'm very happy with it, even though it's still kind of a lot of the similar decks at the top.
Yeah, I like it a lot right now because
Hmm.
I feel like I can play a lot of different decks and
Hmm.
do good with a lot of different decks. So and I can even just do stupid stuff like Ravonna goblins and stuff like that with Darkhawk, and it's just good. Everything's good.
Yeah,
So
I think the
I
game's
really enjoy it.
fun. Yeah, the game's like fun right now, and that's like the most important thing, right? You're not like going into there's not 20% like old Galactus, right? Like, but whatever you queue up, even if you queue up a Loki match, like you could beat these Loki decks now. Like, we got all the tools, and it's been nerfed like enough where you could just kind of play anything and beat whatever, and you're just seeing all kinds of different decks too. Like everything you play against is different too. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, enjoy it now for this week because next week there's going to be a junk revolution for a few days when an Atlas comes out. So get your carnages ready.
What do you think of Miss Marvel? Do you think if you did a top 10 list, would you put Miss Marvel off the top of your head?
A top 10? Oh, that's mm,
Like, I pretty confidently say she's top 30, but I don't know about top 10.
I
What do you think?
I don't think I would. I don't think I would Miss Marvel. She seems okay. I feel like she's a card, and I've heard some content creators say this, and I kind of agree. Actually,
Hmm.
it's like the better people that you play, like the higher up that you are, i- the easier it is to play around Miss Marvel, and the worse she becomes.
Hmm.
You know, because you know how to play around and stuff, and throw stuff on their side, and just like you kind of, it's easy to know the power that she's going
Yeah.
to output. Like that if they have, there's going to be five. If there's going to be an onslaught, there's like it's going to double it. So it's easy to kind of like she's a four. She could be a 415, but you can like output the power and counter it. Basically, it's easier to do
Yeah.
that. Whereas if you're not well versed in the game and you're kind of starting out and stuff, I mean, she's probably just like broken. Like holy crap, it's like 415. You just slam down. If you're in like pool two, it's like wild, right?
Hmm.
So I think she's a good season pass card. She's not broken. She's not taking over the entire meta. The Miss Marvel decks are pretty cool.
Hmm.
They're add a different flavor to them. I've seen people play Living Tribunal as well a lot more, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, so I like her as a season pass card. I personally, I don't think she's like all that fun to
Hmm.
play. for me. Like she's not like my like style, but like some of the decks I played her in, I've had a pretty good time. But I mean, I'd rather be playing other stuff. But
Yeah.
no, she's. I don't think she's a top 10 card. I think she's a great season pass card. I think she's very fair for what she does, and I don't think she's busted, but she's just good value card.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of the content creators say the same thing, and same thing you just said too. I think people might be sleeping on her a little bit.
Maybe, yeah,
I think she might be a top 10 card. And
yeah,
like I'm not like 100% definitive on that, but just from playing her, like I've played her a lot, like on the way up to infinite. Um it's like you said, I feel like the filthy casual in pool 2. Like I feel like that guy in pool 2, right? Where it's like
yeah.
it's fucking 415, like it's ridiculous. Like, like
It is pretty ridiculous.
yeah, it is absolutely ridiculous. A 415. Like, just think about this. Like, Sentry is a 410. Typhoid Mary is a 410. Like,
Yeah,
she's 50% stronger than these cards. And like similar condition, like maybe Typhoid's a bit easier, but like a Sentry like requires some finessing to make him work. Like you're putting a -10 on your side. Like
yeah, yeah,
you need a Viper or a Carnage to deal with that. Or you need to fill up your whole right side. Like it's kind of hard, and that's a 10. It's not a 15. Like I don't
yeah,
know. It doesn't feel that hard to meet her condition, in my opinion. Like
yeah. I agree.
you're playing the game, you're gonna play your first card on the left, then you play your next card on the right, and it's done. Like as long as you don't get wrecked by locations, or maybe if they had a proper Watu in the game, maybe use him. No, just kidding. Of course, it still wouldn't run him, but
No,
but yeah, like I don't know, man. It doesn't feel that hard, and it feels like a lot of times she's just a 410 anyway, which is also great. I guess the only downfall with her is the same thing with, and it's a big one with the move cards, is that she's an ongoing card,
yeah,
this season has reminded me that ongoing has a ton of tech against it, like
yeah,
way too much. So compared to the other stuff, you
yeah,
got Rogue, okay, who's awesome card right now in the meta. By
yeah,
the way, Prox Werewolf as well. So you got Rogue, we got Enchantress, we got Echo, and there's one other one I'm thinking of too. Yeah, I can't. Oh, Super Scroll. Super Scroll's kind of popping up now
Oh
too.
yeah, people have been popping off of Super
Yeah,
Scroll.
so that's 4 tech cards that beats the ongoing. It's and there's way less ongoing cards than there are on reveal cards, and on reveal has less tech cards to beat it. So on reveal's always been reliable, and you don't have to just on reveal you can surprise. You don't know which location you're going to play in on reveal, but ongoing you have to just sit in a lane, and you have to just like you can play turn 6 Miss Marvel, but there's a lot of
Yeah,
really good synergistic, like Doctor Doom, Goliath are like awesome with Miss Marvel, for example, right? You add a
yeah,
6 to each lane. There's no 6s in the left and right, right? So
yeah,
has really good synergy. So that's the only thing that's kind of holding me back for sure top 10. But I think she's like really good. And I think if you look at like her stats and stuff, I think they're going to be held down a lot by people playing Onslaught, because Onslaught probably sucks still. I'm not, I hate to break it to people. And honestly, Spectrum might kind of suck too. Like it's just it is what it is. Like these cards have been bad for a long time. So like
yeah. She might just be like
yeah,
just in a good stuff deck. And I've seen
yeah,
some. Nerf Herder made one like that where he just made a like a Dark Hawk kind of good stuff Hawk stature
yes.
and just had put Miss Marvel here. I'll read the deck list out, and he's
Mhm,
having success in top 1,000 Infinite with this, and a lot of
mhm.
people are saying, "Hey, I'm climbing with this deck." I'll just say it. It's Korg, Nico, Zabu, Jeff, Rockslide, Hulkbuster, Darkhawk, Miss Marvel, Iron Lad, Stature, Black Bolt, America Chavez. Yeah, yeah. So Nerfherder came up with this deck, or he like put it together and popularized it. Check out his stuff. Is really great channel.
Yeah,
Always good stuff.
I love this. Like
Hilarious.
some build like this, if I think if you take like these builds exactly like this, or like Darkhawk builds and also lockdown prison builds, and you look at those stats, I bet you they're like pretty ridiculous with Miss Marvel. And I think just Onslaught and Mystique and just very telegraph, Tribunal, like you're saying, like this stuff is cheesy and unreliable at the end of the day, like if you just use good stuff type of decks, she's a freaking 415, and it's
Yeah.
it's insane. I think So, but I don't think she's as broken as Elsa, and I don't think she's as broken as Loki for sure on
Yeah,
release. So
yeah,
to that point, as you said, I agree with you. Very good season pass card, and it also shows you how shit Omega Red is. Like Omega Red really is one of the, like a bottom 10 card in this game. Like, I mean,
they
that
gotta
card is
fix him.
horrendous.
He's got such a cool effect, but he's just so
Yeah.
bad.
Oh my god, that card is like way underpowered. Like they need
Yeah,
to totally like juice him up.
yeah. If they like even halved his conditions and halved his power, like if you had more than 5 power, like if you're winning by 5, then you get 2 in each lane or something like that. That might be a better.
Yeah, I agree.
Something like that.
Yeah, they got it.
But yeah, I might be biased on Miss Marvel too because I've just played so much junk this season
Mhm.
that like I'm just wrecking them. Like they don't get the bonus ever because I'm just wrecking. I'm throwing goblins, rocks. I'm vipering stuff over. Like I didn't even just viper like random cards over that like aren't rocks and the hood because like I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna -5 on them like Black Widow. I'm like, here, take the Black Widow.
Yeah,
You
when
know.
I first because I was really excited for Miss Marvel, so I was kind of building decks, and the first deck that I ran, like when the second the card dropped and the first day we were playing, I had Carnage in my deck for that reason that you just said, because
Yeah.
I figured people were gonna be like you and just play junk and just send shit over, and it would mess up my stuff. And I thought, oh, because all the content creators were like, oh, the Raptors. What if you get the Raptors? You know, and yeah, I mean, they're, okay, I'll just play Carnage on them and then it's a 2 drop and I'm chilling, right?
Yeah.
But as I played more and more, like same with the Professor X, like I realized, like, man, it was just you, kid. Like nobody's playing junk right now. Like,
No, I don't know why.
so I could just
I
like
don't.
95% of the time, I just don't have to deal with these Raptors or these junk cards coming over. So she just pops off, and the games you do, you just retreat, and I don't know, man, it seems pretty strong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Definitely strong. So yeah, I should play with her a little bit more. But I was having too much fun just being an idiot with the other stuff. So
Oh yeah, no, like you said, it's not your play style anyway. But for me, I
yeah,
I love the lockdown, and I love
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love these kind of cards. This is a massive, massive piece to like a lockdown list. Like she's like a staple in the lockdown now.
You're probably right. She probably is a little bit slept on.
Yeah, I
But
just
yeah, I was just
because I thought people would agree with me, right? Because
yeah,
again, 415, right? So like Doctor Doom's a 615, and he's one of the best cards in the game as a 615, right?
yeah.
So
This is
just
almost like
think
I
about
think she's gonna. You know what? You're. I think you're kind of jumping in early, like getting in early on the hype train on her. Like kind of like people slept on Silk for so long,
it.
and then even when she came, we were like, dude, she's a 2.5. Like that's
Yeah,
premium stats. Like it's good. And then it took a couple months for her to be like, oh wow, okay, yeah, Silk's sick. Like Silk's like one of the top cards when
yeah,
that
it took
little
some
boomers
smart
came.
people to get the right build for Silk because it was tricky. Like you're
So,
playing Craven, but no other move cards. Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
think to do that, but somebody did, and it took over.
Yeah. So that'll probably happen with her. There'll
Mhm.
be some deck where it's like, all right, yeah, she's a 415, like she's wild. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I thought, it'd be interesting thing to talk about. Again, don't have a ton of conviction on that. Not like 3-8 die on the hill. That's a lot more conviction there. But
Yeah.
others is almost memeing at this point. But
Oh, I love
yeah,
it.
I do think like Miss Marvel might be honestly kind of slept on right now. Like if you go, oh, okay, well she got 55% win rate. Like just take out the onslaught and spectrum and what's her win rate. So I'm curious.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I think she's good. We'll see. We'll see in the next couple weeks. We'll revisit this. Um Speaking about next couple weeks, let's go over some of the spotlights, and then we got, every week we get some new information, so we should, talk about the spotlights a little bit.
Hmm.
I'll pull up Snap.fan. Might get some ads here, but that's okay. I'm not paid to win on this site yet. So we got the ads. So this week we kind of talked about it. This pod will come out a bit early, so I guess we can still give our thoughts. Gladiator, for me personally, if you don't have Loki, I'd say it's a good week to roll. Mirage is a decent card that you just wouldn't mind having in your collection. Gladiator probably seems like fun. Probably not the best card. Mirage is okay, not the best card. Loki, really good card and really fun to play.
Hmm.
You know, Quite honestly, if you're like strapped for spotlight caches, I would honestly just roll this week until you got Loki and just stop. You
Yeah.
know, like if you get Loki on the first spotlight, just stop and don't even roll for Gladiator or Mirage.
Yeah, I agree
You
100%. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's what I would do personally if I was like strapped for for spotlight caches and you're thinking about what to do, like Loki's a big one. So I think he's not coming back until January. I think I don't remember, but
I don't
yeah,
even think he was in January from what I remember.
yeah, he
But
was one with Elsa. I think it was him,
oh,
Grandmaster, and Elsa.
okay.
And then next week, I mean, for me, this is just I'm 100% doing this. I think Annihilus is going to be a really good card. Uh, with a grain of salt that hopefully he doesn't get nerfed, but I think he'll be good. Maybe he'll be crap, but I think he'll be good. So next week is Annihilus, Dakin, X23. So Dakin is an okay card. Um, Not a card that I would say that you would need in your collection or that you would really like. Oh, I need to have Dakin. Like if you are a discard enjoyer, you probably already have him. He's in some destroy lists. He's in some random, Arnim Zola, get 4,000, Mirror Master shards in your hand, and Dakin, you have like two, like 364 Dakins on your on your side, and it's
Yeah.
fun. But he's not a card where I would say you need X23. If you like destroy, this is almost a must-have card
Yeah,
for
she's
destroy.
destroy staple, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you like destroy and you don't have X23, it's worth rolling for her. And I think Annihilus is going to be a good card and worth rolling for him.
Mhm.
Whether he's worth 6,000 tokens or not, that's to be seen. But I think he has the potential to be worth 6,000 tokens, which is something I don't really say about a lot of cards,
Mhm.
like almost ever.
Yeah, the last one was probably Eliath, right? That we're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is like a 6K card, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
big boss, like the win condition. The card is a win condition on its own, right? So not most cards aren't in this game.
I,
So
he was in every one of my decks to infinite.
mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Like I posted that on Twitter and someone pointed out like, "Oh, look, Elias in every one of the decks." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess he it's like it's a good card, like it's a good
yeah,
finisher."
he was also in my deck on my infinite. Yeah,
Yeah, he's at all of them.
he's insane. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is probably a week that's if you don't have X23 and you like destroy, this is a week worth rolling. If you don't like destroy, I would say maybe hold off on this week unless Annihilus looks like a card that you'll have a lot of fun with.
Yeah, for me, for guy who occasionally buys a $30 bundle, so if you're listening and you're like me, my plan is to, well, assuming you have Dokken and X23, right? Um, I'm gonna spend the 6K on a nihilist here. I would say skip Gladiator. As someone who has Gladiator, you could very easily skip Gladiator. Uh, Given that, so let's say you just only have Loki, you don't even have Mirage, you probably still skip Gladiator Mirage. Just bank up, load up your resources. I think spending the 6K on a nihilist is the way, unless you don't have X23 and you want to play destroy. But if you're a destroy player, you probably have X23 already. Like, let's be honest, right? So
Yeah.
like that's like the staple card. So I think it just just eat the 6K, because it could just be a crazy game changing card. I mean, you could wait a day or two to see what the meta looks like, but the next week is very skippable in Martyr. And
Yeah,
then
well, yeah,
yeah,
I'll say like too, like sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah,
like
go
I
ahead.
on just to build on your point, like
Hmm.
if you don't like junk,
Hmm.
don't spend any money on a nihilist. Don't,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he's only a pretty much seems to be only a junk card to make junk a really good archetype. If you don't enjoy junk, do not waste any resources on this week.
Hmm.
You know, uh, unless you don't have X23, because X23 is worth.
Hmm.
You know, but yeah. Sorry, and you were talking about the martyr next week. Do you want me to go
Yeah,
next
just
week?
just trying to plan ahead, because we kind of have to, because these spotlight keys are so rare to come by.
Yeah.
Martyr's very skippable, and then December has multiple spotlight cash roll weeks where there might be even two cards that you want in the same week. So I think it's good to spend on a nihilist, because there are like a lot of cards in December where I don't know if they're going to be good or not, but they look really interesting and may be good, and you might want to pick those up alongside the clearly good card. So like what one of them has, like I think Tribunal and Firestar are in the same like bundle, right, or something like that.
Here, I'll look.
Yeah. Oh, is
Yeah,
that
Tribunal and Firestar and Ravona.
and Ravona? So like imagine you don't have any of the, like a lot of people don't have Ravona either, right? Like
Yeah,
these are three really interesting cards. This is a spotlight key, like I'm burning all four, and like we're pumping, you know. Like
yeah.
it's one of those. Like you just fire up, like roll the dice, baby, roll the dice, you know, like you know, and we're trying to get them all. Like so stuff like this. Like even I think the blob, the one is really interesting too. I'm gonna roll for that one. Because I don't
Jeff,
know,
it has Jeff.
has Jeff, and I don't have Stegron, and I just just want the card, but it's got two cards I don't have, you know. So
Yeah.
like the ones in November don't have that. They all have just one card. So that's how I'm playing it personally. I think that's the way to do it. Like you just want to stockpile keys for December because you can probably skip the third week, right? Or unless you don't have like Legion Nico. But going if you don't have Nico, that's probably a pretty good one. Um, and then the last one's like pretty good roll too, right?
Yeah, they got rid of Lady Deathstrike here. So,
Yeah.
people that can't look on the screen, the third week in December is Havoc, Nico, and Legion.
Mhm.
Pretty sweet week because Nico and Legion are like really good cards.
Yeah.
I think Legion is criminally underplayed right now. I got to throw
Mhm.
him in more decks. I say this every week. I'm an idiot, but
Mhm.
he's so good right now. I actually did play him in a few decks and won a few games, scammed a few games.
Yeah.
I always just laugh so hard when I scam. It's hilarious. I feel bad. I don't know if Havoc's gonna be good. He might be good. He might be bad. But Nico is amazing. Legion's amazing. This is a good week. If you don't have these cards,
Yeah,
it's a good
Nico's
week to
6K,
roll.
right? So that's like really good
Yeah,
value on Nico. If you
really
don't,
good card. Like really good card.
yeah, phenomenal card.
And then the week after in December, Celine. Oh, it's gonna be a sick card for junk. Iron Lad, which they got rid of Lady Deathstrike, which I'm mad about. I have her pinned. I'm debating spending 6K tokens on her. I don't want to, but well, we'll see. Iron Lad's, but I like how they threw in Iron Lad here because he's a card that people should have. He's so good. You
Yeah,
know,
for the greater good,
on
I'm with
Black
you
Knight.
because I really wanted Lady Deathstrike here.
I know, I
But
know.
yeah, I mean, we both have Lad already. I mean, that was a no-brainer purchase when it came out, I think. Yeah, but this is really good for the people. If you don't have Lad, yeah, getting Celine and Lad. See, this is why, you don't want to spend 6K, 3K, right? Like, this is how
Yeah,
you really abuse the Spotlight Cash system. You don't want to spend
yeah,
9K on a week of cards. Like, that's crazy,
yeah,
But you do want to spend 3K on Mobius when he comes out. You want to
yeah,
probably think about spending 6K on a Nihilist. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah,
just think about it because these December spotlight rolls are like you might be able to acquire like 8 9 cards that you don't have, and your game might be a lot more fun with just getting 9 cards, without having to spend too much money or anything like that,
yeah.
just from
And,
smart
and
planning.
yeah, and again, we will say like if you don't like junk, like Annihilus is probably not the card for you. Don't waste your resources on it.
Hmm.
And just to go to this week, Gladiator is like will be fun and will be memey and probably not like an amazing card right now. It doesn't seem like it. So if you don't have Loki, probably just hold off on your resources too. Again,
Yeah, and don't listen to me dying on the hill because even if he goes to 3-8, like realistically, he might not be meta at that point. So
yeah,
I mean, you could play
yeah.
the clip again, but.
And
But
again, I
like,
mean, like,
yeah.
just wait till the end of the week. Wait till next Monday. You'll see a week of people playing Gladiator content creators. Like, there's no shame in waiting a week to make your decision, right?
6K is just a ton of tokens.
Now, I wouldn't spend 6K on Gladiator, not a
It's so
chance.
much. So yeah.
And if you like junk and you think you'd have a lot of fun playing junk, Annihilus might be worth 6K. But
Hmm.
yeah, again, there's no shame in waiting too.
Hmm.
Like, let people watch content creators, watch them play with the card, and let them know.
Hmm.
And listen to us idiots talk about it too if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
Uh,
be buying a nihilist for sure, both of us.
Yeah, 100%. I'm
Yeah.
doing Nihilus Galactus, and I'm just gonna destroy
Yeah.
my rank. It's gonna
Yeah.
be great. Yeah, next week or the week after next, Martyr. I think Martyr's just a garbage card, a 1/4 that tries to lose you the game.
I don't know why they
I
changed it. It was kind of interesting before, right? I
two
think I
six would
might
have
have
been
spent the
great.
3K.
Yeah, 2/6 would have been great. I would have easily spent 3K. This card, I'm not rolling. I'm not spending. I'm not doing anything. I will say right now, this card looks like a piece of shit. It looks like garbage. Like maybe one of the worst cards in the game. Like I don't know why the hell you would play this card
Hmm.
over any other card. Like why would you play this over Titania?
Hmm.
Titania is a 1/5, and this tries to lose you the game.
Yeah, at least Titania gives you a chance. Also, Titania, a very good junk card and underrated. A lot of people don't play it in their junk, but
Yeah,
you clog those lanes, it's a 1/5, and it
yeah.
doesn't lose you the game.
This card tries, and the people that say like, "Oh, you could just zero this card, you could zoo this card and fill the lanes," but like, why are you going through all that trouble filling lanes for a 1/4? Like, there's just way better options.
Yeah. I thought she was a 2/7 before, if I'm
I
not
think
mistaken.
it was a 2/6. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. If she ever goes to a 2/7, then she's pretty interesting, I think. But yeah,
Yeah, if she was a 2/6, it'd be interesting. Two
yeah,
six would be sweet.
yeah. It's a nice stat
Two
line.
six is like worth like trying to fill up lanes and stuff.
Yeah, get priority. Yeah, yeah. It's like a super lizard, like a risky, even riskier lizard type of thing.
Yeah, and this week is not really that exciting unless they change Spider-Man 2099. This is Martyr, Jean Grey, and Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah,
So like Jean, she's a cool card, but she still hasn't really found a home meta yet. There's a lot of people that have, Jean Grey lists, and she does do pretty good, but not worth spotlights, I don't think, right now for the majority of people. And Spider-Man 2099, well, he's a cool card. He's just not really found a home yet either, and he's not really that good right now.
yeah. I
So this
tried
week
Gene
is like
Glenn.
I'm completely skipping this week and not even
Mhm,
thinking twice about it and be like, oh, okay, skipping it, getting ready for December.
mhm. Yeah, this week's a hard skip. I tried Gene again today. Was playing some Surfer, and yeah, it's just I don't know, man. Okay, I haven't figured it out either. But
You gotta get that Gene Gladiator Mantis.
yeah, I got to do it with the Mantis. Actually, though, with Mantis, I will do that because Mantis is
Yep.
a one cost, so bounce him. 0. Let's go double Mantis. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Give
So
me a
those are
good deck
those are our
design.
thoughts on the kind of upcoming spotlights.
Mhm.
Let's go into the stonks. We'll get into this weekly stonks report here. Where we pay to win on Untapped. We got the data, so you don't have to pay to win. Um, and we'll kind of see what's been going on in the meta. We have we could do different rankings and stuff, but for now we'll look at ranked, the ladder. We can take a look at conquest in a little bit.
Mhm.
This is just the meta right now. Looks like A tier on untapped data is Cerebro 5, number one.
I just
All right, so
grabbed it.
Cerebro 5, this list, as you can see on front, this is the main list. Luke
Mhm.
Cage, Medusa, Lizard, Silk, Cerebro, Polaris, Spider-Man, Wave, Enchantress, Miles Morales, Miss Marvel now, and Doctor Doom. You're the
Yeah.
Cerebro expert. What do you think about this?
Well, this is definitely like, hey, Miss Marvel came out. She's I just talked about how she's a really good card, and oh, by the way, she's 5. So hey, Cerebro 5. Cerebro naturally has a good matchup into Loki because it's a combo deck, and giving away the Cerebro, they're gonna have like a 6 power collector, right? Like or something like this where they're not gonna get too much value from your Cerebro itself.
Yeah,
Um, I was saying to you, before the pod, the Silk is pretty tricky in here. Silk and Eliath, 5 power Eliath were like staples in this deck. Before, and this was a really strong deck. I took, got the Infinite Border, crushed a bunch of souls with this deck. It's a
yeah,
beautiful deck. I like the Enchantress. People didn't used to run the Enchantress, but I think she's really good, especially in this meta. All the ongoing, nobody's playing Cosmo with their ongoing cards, even though Cosmo's an ongoing card. So like Enchantress solos some matchups for you, and New
yeah,
Wave is a new inclusion to this deck. So I think if you were having a hard time with Silk, you could probably put a 5 or a 6 cost, like something that would fit. I haven't thought of something off the top of my head, but like let's say Eliath, for example, uh, because then it gives you options to play alongside a wave on a turn 3 wave into turn 4. Soul Read Eliath or Doctor Doom or something like that. Right now it's only
yeah,
Doctor Doom. So yeah.
yeah. And I think Dexter has a video on this. He might have popularized it.
Mhm.
He played Cerebro 5, and it was pretty cool video to see. Other deck in the A tier, Shuri. No surprise here. It's just a solid deck. Puts up solid stats.
Mhm.
Shuri Sauron. This
Mhm.
is just a generic deck with 58% win rate. I played a little bit of Shuri, only a few games because I played it like a lot last season to climb to Infinite, and then my last Infinity Conquest was Shuri, at the buzzer beater there. This is Zero, Ebony Maw, Armor, Lizard, Sauron, Shuri, Enchantress, Typhoid Mary, Taskmaster, Vision, Red Skull, and Chavez. So there's a lot of lists. Like you could put Eliath in here, take out Enchantress. I've seen Nebula in a few lists. I've seen Lizard out of the lists. So there's a lot of ways that you can build the Shuri deck. But the core is the Shuri Red Skull Taskmaster, Shuri Vision Taskmaster. Throw your armor down and Sauron on 3 and snap, and just good. The Enchantress tech is good, especially now with all the ongoings
Yeah.
running around.
Yeah.
So it's just a good tech to have in this deck right now. You know, it's a good solid deck and very easy to play and very easy to know when you should snap and stuff.
Yeah, this was the main thing I was losing to on my infinite climb this season. Just because the enchantress, like, yeah, she just crushes your
Yeah,
ongoing stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, I refuse to play Cosmo too. I would say pro tip for newer players, because Shuri is kind of pool three friendly. Like, there's pretty much no pay to win cards in there, right?
yeah,
Um, Play your armor before on two always, because if you don't, Sauron will cuck your armor and he won't work.
yeah,
So you play
yeah,
your armor on two. Even if you have a lizard, you go, oh, lizard's a 2/5. I want priority. No, you don't. You play your armor. Always play your armor.
yeah. That's true.
Then you play Shuri
That's
in
a
the
good
armor
point.
lane, or you could save it for task, like, depending on what you
Yeah.
want. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Then there's a lot of just like random decks. Destroy's got Destroy's in the B tier. It's got a 6.5% play rate. Loki, Stature, Guardians deck, Dark Hawk decks, Move, High Evo. These are all like kind of B tier and infinite. Um, let's look at
wait. What's the
people.
move? What's the move deck? That's
It's
the one that stands out to me. Everything
This is
else
probably
seems
like Silk.
okay. So like a little movers type of deck. This
Yeah,
one does
with
have the
a
Elias Doom. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
Eliath, Doom, Legion, Vision, and it has Miss Marvel too.
mm, interesting.
So yeah, just like a Miss Marvel move, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, let's look at. I want to look at the for the people that haven't hit Infinite yet,
Hmm.
70 to 99.
Oh baby, Guardians, way up here.
There it is. So the number one deck, it's a low popularity, is Move,
Hmm.
which is the kind of the deck we just went over.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler, Craven, Jeff, Silk, Spider Man, Miles Morales, Miss Marvel, Iron Lad, Legion, Vision, Eliath, Doom. And then the some of the highest popularity is High Evo and Guardians deck. So
Hmm.
what's this Guardians deck? It's probably Lockdown. Yeah, this is kind of like the deck that you played basically.
Yes.
Lockdown. So this is popular for people that are climbing to Infinite. So this is ranked 70 to 99. These are
Yeah,
the most popular high win rate decks.
yeah, so this is pretty much what I played to Infinite from day one of Marvel coming out. This deck is insane. I mean, we talked about it on the last pod. I would say, just, if you're looking to get spicy, you see this. I explained it at the beginning, but you see a Daredevil Professor X, which is great. It's bread and butter, it's bread and it's butter, peanut butter and jelly. They go good together.
Yeah.
We know Daredevil Professor X works. It's good, but if you get into a mirror match, and there's a lot of Professor X out there. It's not just Guardians decks running him. Okay, a lot of Professor X, and I play Claw, and he plays Professor X, or I play turn 5 Marvel, and you play Professor X. Like, you're done. You have 3 power, and I put 10 to 15 power on the board that reaches the Professor X lane, and I have
Yeah.
Jeff as well, and I have Mister Fantastic as well. So, like, man, like, you like, just something to think about. So I cut Daredevil for Goose, because I thought Goose is pretty interesting in here too. And Professor X, I put Claw instead. But I also have Gamora, Eliath, Doom. Yeah, this is exact same list. Oh, no Medusa either. I forget what I was running instead of Medusa. But yeah, Daredevil and Prof X are out. Yeah, Lad's in there for sure. And yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then yeah, High Evo, just a standard High Evo. This one, oh, this is a Leech Infinite magic one. This is like the
Shinon,
Sheena.
baby. The classic.
Yeah. Yeah. This doing well, climbing 58%. And then Shuri does well. Stature lists are doing well as, just a Darkhawk stature list. Zabu Darkhawk stature, very
Mhm.
good B tier. These are good stonks. Conquest. Let's look at Gold Conquest. Shuri's taking over. 60.8% win rate. She Not is in there. Guardians and High Evo. Those are the top decks in Gold Conquest right now. No
Kid, you're the
surprise,
Shuri
really.
god, all right? What? Tell us
Yeah,
about Shuri. Why is this deck still so good? Like, what's going on? Like, you played the shit out of this last season. You're crushing
yeah,
skulls. You went 7-0 run in conquest with this thing. Like,
yeah.
what's
So
going on with the Shuri deck? Why is it
it's
still so
just
good?
okay. One, it's very easy to snap. So
Hmm.
your snap conditions are just like you have Shuri, Red Skull, Taskmaster. You have Shuri, anything in Taskmaster, you're snapping.
Hmm.
You have Sauron, you're snapping.
Hmm.
It's very easy to know when to snap and when to retreat too.
Hmm.
You have armor Sauron, you're snapping. You draw Shuri, you're snapping. It's
Yeah.
very it's very easy. I like personally ran Eliath in mine because
Mhm.
that's like a hidden win condition that people don't really know about. And I didn't run Chavez actually. I usually like running Chavez because then you draw your Sauron and Shuri more often.
Mhm.
But I wanted to try without it to see if I would care that much, and I didn't really. And if you don't draw your combos, you just retreat. You lose one cube, but like your cube equity is so much in this deck because you're snapping of sure, and you're there's very hard to lose.
Mhm.
Especially if you have armor down because you Shuri, you Red Skull, it's 28, and then you Taskmaster, and you do that in the armor lane, you Taskmaster another lane. And if you've played Sauron, you could play Ebony Maw, Zero in another lane, Lizard in another lane. It's just like
Yeah, Typhoid off
you're,
the top, something like that. Yeah, it's just a 4
yeah,
turn.
like
You do like Typhoid
yeah,
Maw, that's like 17 power, like turn 6, still pretty nice, even if you don't get your
yeah,
cast.
even
Yeah.
yeah, turn 6, and then you could Shuri the Typhoid, which is a 20 power, right? And then you still Taskmastering 20 power. If
Mhm.
you've Sauron, you can Taskmaster an Ebony Maw on the last turn. You could Taskmaster Zero on the last turn. Like
Mhm.
your turns are crazy. So like you're not only playing for like 2 lanes, you can play for 3 lanes. If you Ebony Maw one lane on turn 1 because you didn't draw any other things, you can Shuri your Vision, and then you
Mhm.
have a 16 that can fly into the Ebony Maw lane, and then you Taskmaster a different lane in the armor lane. It's like it's pretty wild. So it's like it's just a very easy deck to play with a lot of versatility that puts up a lot of stats, and that's it.
Yeah, I
It's,
think
it's linear.
there's decks like this are the reason why I'm hesitant to say for sure Loki's like the best deck because like this deck's insane. Like this deck is absolutely crazy, and
It's
it,
good.
it has been for a while. And I like your inclusion of Eliath for Conquest specifically.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome because you want to get those like 4 to 8 cube wins. Like you want the one surprise 4 to 8 cube win, and nobody's gonna expect Eliath in a Shuri deck. And if you're going just like min max on the ladder, maybe you play the Chavez just because you just want to chain queue as many games as possible. But like in a conquest match, there's gonna be that one game where they snap, you both have the stuff, and peekaboo, here's on the Goliath. Like
Yeah.
we're ready for that. So
No,
yeah,
he was stealing 8 cubes on the ladder
yeah.
left
Oh,
and
that's
right.
great. Yeah.
Like last season, I think I played like a few games with it this season, but not too much. But he steals 8 cubes because and he's another win condition, right? You don't draw your Taskmaster. You have like
Mhm.
your Shuri Vision or Shuri Red Skull or Shuri Typhoid, right?
Mhm.
You pretty much, not always, but you pretty much win that lane, the Shuri lane,
Mhm.
um, the vast majority of the time. And then if you have like Lizard, a zeroed Ebony Maw in another lane, or like something, a Sauron, Ebony, and Zero in one lane,
Mhm.
you're probably ahead in that lane.
Mhm.
So you just Eliath that lane, right?
Yeah.
You're winning the Shuri lane, and then you Eliath the other lane. You don't need Taskmaster.
Mhm.
And it's just like it's nice. Not
Yeah.
for them, but it's nice for you.
Yeah, gives you some more fun too. Like if people say, "Oh, deck's boring," well, if you throw a Goliath in it, it gets a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm. And
Yeah,
I think I said last time too. Like Vision makes it more fun
yeah. True, Vision's awesome in this deck.
because you could just like I think when I talked about it a couple weeks ago, like there's a lot of times where like I had Red Skull, but I Shuried Vision because I just wanted to have more fun and just move
Mhm.
him around and be an idiot. So still win, but yeah. So it's just a
Yeah,
nice, easy deck, and just like it's like a comfort deck almost.
I would say Sheenot is interesting at two. This is for the climb, right? For to infinite.
This is conquest. This is conquest.
Oh, this is for conquest. That's interesting because you got to watch out for Snowguard with this deck if you're playing. But at least the nice thing with Snowguard is that you see it coming from a mile away, right? Like they're not gonna snap on Snowguard, So like, you know,
Yeah.
if you see a Snowguard, like just know they're gonna play the hawk on your limbo space.
Well, this
So
has leech. This has leech. So they
yeah,
have to play Snowguard on 5.
you could hawk on 5, right? And I think you're okay because it shuts down for the next turn too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
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 So anyway, if the Loki player is smart, they're gonna hawk on 5, and
Yeah.
yeah, now you can't do the skip scam out She-Hulk. But look, hey, She-Hulk just got buffed. She's 10 now, and
Yeah.
also Mobius is ass and doesn't exist. So those are the Mobius is by far the biggest counter to this deck, and that's now gone. Legion is very you'd never see Legion. Legion can get tricky to the point where you might want to play your own Legion to hit your limbo so that they can't Legion you. but we're not seeing too much Legion. So like, why not just cut them at this point, right? So if you run in this deck against 85% of the decks, like you're going to be in really good shape. So like this deck's still very powerful, and armor protects your 1-drops as well as your big cards.
Yeah, and I really, I'd stand by. I think we should be putting Legion in our decks because I'm seeing a lot more Magic now too. Is something
Mhm.
I'm noticing. So like Legion can just scam out those games very
Mhm.
easily.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the Stonks report, right? I mean,
Mhm.
if you want to climb, those are the decks, pretty standard stuff, and there's a lot of other stuff that's these are all pretty close stats too, like between 55 to 60% on untapped. So it's like there's a ton of like discard, Darkhawk, Loki, Destroy, High Evo, Guardian, Sheena, Shuri. Play anything, man. Just play a deck that's really fun, get good at it, and you'll probably hit infinite, honestly.
Yeah, I think if you scroll down and you just kind of look at this top 10, no, not like all the way, but just go up to, yeah, like the D there. Um, like,
They'll go to ranked.
yeah, no, that's fine too. But yeah, like this is kind of what we're talking about, where the meta feels pretty healthy, and like all these decks can compete with each other, So you could pick one of those 10 decks and like put your own spice on it, and I think you're going to be just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I
A lot,
think
lot
it's
of Miss Marvel, a lot of Miss Marvel in those decks, but just she's the new hotness now. So I think her play rate's gonna die down for sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I think it's the time for the kid to roll spotlights,
Oh,
and
let's
then
get
we'll
it.
give it a little wrap.
So what are you hoping for? Do you actually want the variants? Like I got Mirage
All
and
right.
Gladiator today.
All right. I want. So first of all, I queued up 4. You need to
Mm,
have 4 before you roll anything. All
yeah.
right. Let's just get it right for the people here.
Mm,
Um, I want Gladiator
mm,
and I want Loki
yeah.
variant. That's what I want. If I get those 2, I'm stopping. If it takes me 4, it takes me 4.
Okay. Let's do it.
I love this Loki variant. I've been
It's
waiting
a
for it.
sick Loki variant, and I was a little bit upset at it. I got Mirage, but the Mirage one's really nice too, though. I'm not gonna lie. I do like the Mirage one
Yeah.
too. But yeah,
Actually, the more I look at the Mirage one, the more I like it. It's pretty cool.
it's nice compared to default Mirage. It's like really nice. So yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
then, the ultimate thing would be I get Gladiator, Loki, and then I get Lady Deathstrike in the random one. That
Oh,
one.
let's go.
But
The dream. Yeah, let's go, Howard. I want to see Howard.
all right, here we go. First one.
Howard.
Oh, it's going.
Howard the Duck.
Mirage.
Okay,
All right, we'll
I got
take it.
altered up
We'll take
Mirage
it.
in my first roll.
I'll take the Mirage variant.
Okay. Yeah, it's a nice variant for sure.
I'm probably
Gladiator.
gonna be rolling 4 here.
Glad.
Here it is, baby. Oh,
Hey.
Gladiator. We got the Chadiator.
Same
Yeah,
as mine. We're gonna keep going for Loki or what?
100%.
Let's go. Gamma,
Third
Gamma.
one. We're rolling. We're going.
Howard the Duck.
Oh, Loki. There we go, baby.
Nice. Okay.
We avoided. That's it. 3. 3 to get
Okay,
the
pretty
one
good.
things that I
Okay, pretty
wanted.
good.
Do it. Swap it up. Good. Sweet. Nice. Got a key to spare.
Mhm.
No big deal. What do you got to say to the people, man?
Enjoy the diverse meta. Maybe don't kill me because I'm already gonna die on the hill. And have a good week. Have a good week. Sorry we got a little early this week, but it's all good. And shout out to Anguilla.
Yes. The good people of Anguilla. Number 1 video game podcast there somehow. You guys are amazing. I love it. Anyways, have fun out there. Have fun with Chadiator pulling things out and blowing them up. Or not. Missing and getting pissed. Peace.